Oh, sorry. It's not Cadiz. It's supposed to be Manchester United. Sorry about it. Let me change it. United. Man United. It's Man. Sorry. Man UTD versus Nottingham. Nottingham. And it's a Premier League game. That's it. Let me change it. Sorry, guys. Sorry about it. I'm sorry. This is what you get when you don't proofread after doing your work. But you know, everything is on me. It's me who does these graphics. So lots of things are really on my head. So that's why you see things coming out like this. But obviously, it's the build-up of United versus a team known as Nottingham Forest, happening at Old Trafford today. Remember, Chelsea is leading by 2-0. 10 minutes to go. That's where the game of football is, between Chelsea and Bournemouth. I remember Bournemouth is the team that we're going to open with the new year of 2023, and we're going to be playing them at Old Trafford. Not so? I think it's going to be at Old Trafford. So guys, thank you very much for coming in through. It's the match build-up between United and Nottingham Forest. And smash the like button, comment and share. And if at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. And I think in the live chat, you can see what we call a poll questioning your prediction. You're going to vote on either a United win. It's a Man United win. Man UTD win. Is it going to be a Nottingham win? Or it's going to end square in a draw. All right. So I've asked my community and I'm waiting for your answers. So go into the live chat and really vote and tell me what you think about this poll that we've really come up with here onto the United Matters channel. But obviously, Erik ten Hag is going to hate to name his starting 11 of Manchester United that's going to take on a team called Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, United last played in 1999. Not so very many years. They've been out of the Premier League for close to 20 something years, but now they are back. And United is playing them. They're a team that is one of the teams that is going to hate to concede very many goals in the Premier League against the big sides. The only team they've shocked is Liverpool. They are home. But one thing you should put in your mind is a team called Nottingham has only gone ahead to score, is it 1 goal away? 1 goal away. So it shows you how ugly they are looking in this season. But obviously, you never know. The game of football is full of surprises and lots of things might come in through and really happen, because the game of football is really full of wonders, and shocks really happen if at all you don't go all out and call for the best from your players as the manager of a team that you manage. Now let's see, who has Erik ten Hag gone ahead to name in his starting 11 of Manchester United that's going to take on Nottingham Forest today? David De Gea, Bruno Fernandes, Anton Martial, Marcus Rashford, Malacia, Eriksson, Casemiro, Rafael Varane, Anthony, Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Those are the starting 11 players of Manchester United against Nottingham. When you look at the substitutes, there is Tom Heaton, Barnett, Maguire, Williams, Freddie, Donny van de Beek, Zidane Ikbo, Elanga, and Alejandro Garnacho. That's the starting 11 of United that Erik ten Hag is going to hate to name, see to it that he takes on a team known as Nottingham at Old Trafford. Let's go to the starting 11 of Nottingham Forest. Nottingham has the following: Hennessy, then they have Waral, they have Mangala, they have Awoni, After Awoni, they're having Johnson, they're having Yates, they're having Fruela, they're having Sergio Aurier, Boli, Lodi. Those are the 11 players starting for the side of Nottingham Forest. Then the substitutes are Smith, Cook, Williams, Colback, O'Brien, Toffolo, Starbridge, Dennis McKenna. That is the starting 11 of Nottingham Forest as named by their manager. Obviously, they are taking on Manchester United at Old Trafford in a game that is going to be highly contested, because don't expect United not to want to win this game of football, because it's going to be for the very first time to win 6 games in a row ever since 2017 for United at Old Trafford, because in the Premier League, we've gone ahead to win those games in. Is it the Premier League or in total? Because we won the last games we played against Spurs, West Ham, there is Aston Villa, there is Burnley, and there is Shelf. Those are the 5 games we've won. Now, if we win today, it's really going to be 6 games, 6 consecutive wins at Old Trafford. That was last seen in 2017. So you see how Erik ten Hag is really reviving this team and really taking us to the levels where we are supposed to be at Manchester United. Now let's look at how Nottingham is going to stand today, especially the formation, because we've known the players, but which formation are they going to play today? All right. They've gone with a 4-3-3, very much surprised, because every time this manager has always been playing the game of football, he is one of those that we call pragmatic. He's a pragmatic manager, and that's why I'm really so much shocked about him coming in with a 4-3-3, because he's a pragmatic manager. Each and every time he's playing a team that is really ahead of him a lot, he goes in for what we call a defensive team. But I believe Google might have made a mistake, because I believe this system is supposed to be 5-4-1. That's what I believe. This system is supposed to be 5-4-1. Now in goal is Hennessy. Aurier is the right back. Worrell, right side of the central defense. Boyle is playing on the left side of the central defense. Lodi is playing as a left back. Then Yatez, Fruola, and Mangala. They're 3 central midfielders. That's what I told you, that this Mangala guy, this is a 4-5-1. Mangala is going to be playing here. They are going to be 5 central defenders. That's what I'm really believing. Then I believe Lingard will come in the midfield here to join Freula and Yates, and Johnson is going to be the midfield, and obviously Awoni is really going to lead the line alone. He's going to play a single role as a striker, because this is the system that this manager has always gone ahead to play with, not a 4-3-3 against Manchester United. Then let's go to Manchester United, as we are really going to stand today. A system is 4-2-3-1. Obviously, it's a constant for Erik ten Hag. David De Gea is in goal. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, right back, returning after that assist he put in for Eriksson, and he might have a very good game today, because Nottingham is really one of those teams that are supposed to be beating. Luke Shaw is playing. Where is Luke Shaw? So guys, is Lindelof out of the team? Let me check here again. Let me check. Bruno Shaw. Oh, guys, I had not even noticed that Luke Shaw is out of, Lindelof is out of the team, and the manager has gone with Luke Shaw to play in the left side of the central defense. We know he can play central defense very well. Tyrell Malacia is playing as a left back. Casemiro and Eriksson are playing the double pivot. Then Anthony, right attacking midfielder. Bruno, central attacking midfielder. Martial. This is a mistake. Martial is supposed to be here, and Rashford is going to be here. There is no way Martial is going to be played wide left. I believe he's going to be leading the line for a side called Manchester United. But let's talk about Luke Shaw and Rafael Varane. They are playing for the very first time in a defensive partnership. Harry Maguire is on the bench, returning from injury. I don't know why the manager has not trusted him in such a game to play alongside Rafael Varane. That raises lots of questions. But the most important bit to see to it that this central defense really triumphs is Casemiro. he's going to shield them very well. I know he's going to win the midfield battle, something that we lacked when you're playing Burnley, because Burnley was all against us because Scott McTominay was in the CDM role, and he has not really mastered the art or the craft. They'll just look for moments to see to it that they go on and really hit us on the break. That's what they are going to go on and really look at. But I believe United won't allow them to do that. They are really going to be looking a more serious side that every team would like to be having. But I believe Luke Shaw is going to play well in the left back, because I've seen him play in the left back, in the midfield, in the defensive three. He can play very well. And maybe Ten Hag has said this is the time I should really try out something new and see whether Luke Shaw can go on and play that. As Lisandro Martinez returned yesterday, he cannot make it to the game today because of the jet lag. Obviously, he has not been training. They've been celebrations of winning the World Cup. The reason as to why Rafael Varane starts, it's because he lost in the World Cup final, and after losing the World Cup final, the manager has gone ahead to know that he has been working hard and obviously was not celebrating. He's fully fit and he is back to start into the starting 11 of Manchester United. When you look at the players that have started today, I think we've only missed out on 2. That is, but only one, because we expected Shaw to come here and play as a left back. So Lindelof only, he's one that has really missed out. But we expected Rafael Varane to come in through. Aaron Wan-Bissaka to start on the right back. Many of you might even be surprised about him, but for me, I'm not surprised about him. Reason, he deserves to be there. He deserves to be there because he has worked hard to be into that position for Manchester United. He's a very good player. I really love the way he does his stuff, and I've continued to see to it that however much he doesn't fit the style of Erik ten Hag, but he has put himself into the shop window for West Ham, Crystal Palace and Wolverhampton Wanderers to get us some money for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. However much Erik ten Hag is using him because Diego Dallo is really injured. But Erik ten Hag knows that I think at the start of January or next year, Dalot would have returned. And the return of Dallo means that Aaron Wan-Bissaka has nothing to do with the club of Manchester United, and he will have to go away. So today's game should be so important for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. If he registers another assist today, all puts in a very thrilling performance, because you're going to be having a lion's share of the possession. You're going to be playing in the second and final third of Nottingham, meaning that a lot of space is going to be created for him to go on and exploit those right extreme areas of the final third of Nottingham to bury in those crosses. And if at all he finds an assist today, that would act like a charm for him and Manchester United, because United would have put itself in a position of calling in for money, not a loan with an option to buy. That's it. Then Bissaka would also like to be playing football, because he wouldn't like to be redundant as he has been ever since Erik ten Hag came in here, because he had only played 8 minutes before that game he played against Burnley. Against Liverpool, he played 8 minutes only, and he had never featured in any United game again, because Erik ten Hag never believed in the player. So that shows you how quality we are best at United and how much we are calling in for signings, especially a right back and a centre forward, to be more specific. So smash the like button, comment and share. And if you're only watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. So that's how United is going to line up today as they take on a team called Nottingham. A little bit of warming myself. It's quite chilly and cold here. It's chilly. So I'm really wondering how it is in USA, how it is in Europe, because Europe, they're in winter. It's really cold. So it's really a lot of questions to me. It raises lots of questions for me on how the weather is like that side. If I told you in Europe, go into the live chat and tell me how cold is Europe, because looks like it's damn cold. It's damn cold. You see here in Kampala, it's just chilly, but I'm freezing. That's why I have some tea with me. But let's go and talk about this game of football in particular at Manchester United. This game of football really requires lots of things to come in through and be done. One, these are my requests. I start off with Tyrell Malacia. Tyrell Malacia, good player going forward, but his end product is really lacking. That's why I would love to see him put in close to 5 crosses per half, all per 45 minutes. If he goes ahead and does that, then it would have put him in a better position of creating an assist, because if you put in 10 crosses in the 18 yards box area of the opponent for the entire 90 minutes, I believe we have the quality to at least get one in the back of the net. I want to see our fullbacks really creating a lot by having 20 crosses. Like Malacia, if Malacia can get 10 for starters, Aaron Wan-Bissaka also gets in 10, that will be something great. I would like to see us doing that from the wide backs, because these fullbacks have to go in and mirror out what the likes of Benny White and Zichenko are doing for Arsenal, Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold doing for Liverpool, Reece James and Chilwell or Chicharella doing for Chelsea, Cancelo and Kyle Walker doing for Man City. That is what we should go on and do. We should get these fullbacks to stretch up to the final third and give us some good deliveries. Like you saw last time, Bissaka, when Bruno went in for that pass and Bissaka slid in with a cutback that found Eriksen unmarked. That's how you can break a team. Because we have a very good midfield of Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno that can really get hold of that ball, and they will attract these players and leave the half spaces empty. So if you watch that goal against Burnley a lot, that cross that found around Bissaka in the half space unmarked was due to the product of United coming up, passing that ball, and that ball attracted all the players of Burnley in the central axis. Now, Bruno found a very brilliant pass, Bissaka slid in, and obviously Eriksen put that ball in the back of the net. So that shows you how good it becomes when you are a team that plays like that. So with a good passing range of Bruno, Eriksen and Casemiro, I believe Malacia and Aaron Wan-Bissaka should be benefiting from this. They should be beneficiaries from the long passing range of Casemiro, Bruno and Eriksen, because they switch play a lot. So put yourself in a position that they can find you with their good passing, and obviously you do the cutback and hence scoring. If we can do that, we can even be scoring very many goals, because most of our goals are coming in from the central axis and hitting the teams on the break. And lastly, doing what we call the pressing. That has resulted into us scoring very many goals in the United jersey, but that calls in for much more input from teams like Manchester United to see to it that we get ourselves to that level. Then after those fullbacks, let's talk about Anton Martial. Martial last scored his last Premier League goals against Man City. He went ahead to play against Everton 29 minutes, he never scored. He played against Fulham, he was involved in the goal. He played, I think that's the last Premier League game he played in. And those are the most minutes that Martial has offered United in the Premier League. And that I think they were 78 alongside Fulham. Then he came up through, he played in the Carabao Cup against Burnley. He played close to 78 minutes, he was taken off. Then afterwards, here he comes to play another second Premier League game against Nottingham, a side that I want to see Anton Martial terrorizing, because this side is 19th. It's 19th on the league, bottom of the league. Arsenal beat them 5-0 at Emirates. Why not go ahead and do the same and give them the beating of their lives of some good 5 goals? You get? Then Anthony, I believe he should use this game to get himself to the score sheet and obviously create a lot. I want to see him do things that he can do. I want to see him passing that ball early enough, looking for return passes, wall passes in this game. I hate seeing him in the wide area here. I hate to see Anthony here. Anthony is supposed to be operating here. This is supposed to be his operation area. But why should he see himself here all the time? Every time you see him get the ball, he's here. Yet most of the goals he has scored, he has found himself in such areas. Because when in such an area like this, he has an eye on goal with a good shot, and hence for Manchester United and scores them and put them at the back of the net. But so I really believe that's what I want from the man known as Anthony. I want to see him operating better. I want to see him operating better. Let him narrow the pitch. Let him narrow the pitch such that we have lots of numbers in the goal or final third of Nottingham Forest. Let him not widen the pitch a lot. I want to see him putting it to a narrow it that we go ahead and really put them to the sword as Manchester United. So my prediction is simple. I think we are winning this game. We are winning this game by a minimum of 3-0, but we can score 6. We can go ahead and score 5, depending on how we are going to be so much great. That's why you see 100% of the people in the poll are letting us know that United is really going to win. Thank you guys for watching in through. We